ferocious Friday coming up. Those of you on YouTube, well, like there's nothing to talk about. Newsom's trying to bury us under the bullet train fiasco. Mask mandates is coming under the severe fire. So that's absolutely fantastic. There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday, 11 to 5 on IU Newswire on Facebook, Twitch, and Jesse's very favorite YouTube. Going on, like you said, on the deal. What is the farmer's ad coming up on here? That lots of stuff going on. Newsom's going to bury us, stole enough of our money that he's going to finish his bullet train on that. So if you think you're getting anything, you might get a crumb or two or a breadcrumb or two, but most of it's going to illegal aliens, bullet trains, and any other thing that he can try and buy a vote. I don't know how he thinks he's buying any votes on that, but we'll have that later on. Mask mandates, maybe why plastic bags are... The whole plastic bag ban was a fallacy. Remember who told you that first? Oh, plastic bags. They're going to kill us all. We got to eliminate those. Yeah, right. Never underestimate the stupidity of your fellow human being. We have more stuff on top of that. Yes, we've got Chuck Becker will be on later on. He'll preview the stock car races at Paris Auto Speedway. We had some video of Ron DeSantis, and that on top of that, the mask wars are folding from coast to coast. But as we brought you yesterday, I think it was Wednesday, of the car with plastic bags full of gas in the trunk. This is the reason why you do not put containers of gas in an enclosed vehicle. If you're hauling gas, you haul it in the back of a pickup truck. That's why I say real men drive pickup trucks, because we may be retarded, but we do know how to do some things. And we do know, most of us, back in the day, and it's changing, but most of us had a little common sense. Here's a report out of Florida of what happens when you put a whole bunch of gas inside of an enclosed vehicle. Here we go.
Burst into flames right after filling up at a gas station. Look at this video here. Firefighters in Citrus County on Florida's Gulf Coast responded to the fire Wednesday. Fire crews say that there were 4 recently filled 5 gas cans in the SUV. One person was hurt, but they did not have to go to the hospital. Firefighters are urging people not to hoard gas.
Okay. Hoarding gas is one thing. Hauling gas in containers in an enclosed vehicle is another. This was in 5-gallon, or it seemed like the report, it wasn't in the plastic bag one. It was in regular containers. So this is how it's even dangerous to do in a regular gas container. Not much the genius that was putting bags in the trunk of their car in plastic flimsy bags in the trunk of his or her car. Again, Royism 101, never underestimate the stupidity of your fellow human being, because they will, if you don't, you will be severely disappointed because they will do stupid things like this and fry a SUV to the ground. It was lucky nobody was hurt on that. And it's like the genius to put them in the bags in the back of the trunk. I mean, even to that. If you burn your own self up by doing something stupid, well, that's on you. But what if somebody hits you in the rear end or something and that whole thing explodes? Now you potentially severely injured or killed many other people going on that. So again, gasoline, very dangerous combustible product. Only put it in the gas tank of your car, or if you're getting 5 gallons or a gallon of gas for your lawnmower, haul it in the back of a open pickup bed, not inside a enclosed vehicle trunk or anything else. That's our public service announcement for today. The mask thing is going down the drain. Trader Joe's, give me number 4 please, was one of the first stores to drop the mask requirement for fully vaccinated customers after CDC mask update, Kelly typo in USA Today. And USA Today is the supposedly paper of record, the one you get that you don't read if you're sitting in the motel or don't subscribe to or this, but this is fantasy. This is not only the mask mandate. Look at this, if I can get the ridiculous ad off of here. Trader Joe's has updated its mask policies and not require fully vaccinated customers to wear a mask. The specialty supermarket is believed to be the first major national retailer to make the change after Centers of Disease Control and Prevention issued masking guidelines Thursday. Listen to this part real carefully. Walmart, the nation's largest retailer, announced Friday it would no longer require fully vaccinated customers or employees to wear masks at both Walmart or Sam's Club's locations. Costco dropped its mask policy at some of the clubs starting Friday, but will still require them at pharmacy and optical departments as well as locations or mask mandates. Now watch this. Masks are still required now at Target, Walmart, CVS, and more, but retailers review new CDC guidance. Two short paragraphs before, they said Walmart had dropped the mask mandate. And they go on to reiterate this in the article for a second time. So it wasn't just necessarily an oversight of what was going on, but so is Walmart dropping the masks or are they not dropping the mask? You would be thoroughly confused by reading the USA Today article as they are putting it out there. At 1 minute they're dropping the masks, at the next minute they are keeping the masks. This is what we got. It shouldn't be vaccination. It's a bunch of hooey, as Steve Ducey pointed out, and hopefully we got the clip up here of that. Yes. As we pointed out yesterday, I think Steve listens to the show, 34% fully vaccinated in the U.S., about 50% at least partially or one shot, part of the shot or some whatever. We ain't even close to the 70, 90% herd immunity that we can only get with vaccine. Mind you, if you listen to the Fauci, Jen Psakis of the world, we could never get to herd immunity or wipe this out by having it and getting the immunities that way. Peter Ducey, I should say, asked the question today at the White House. And it was stunning, the answer Paskey did. It's in the second part. We're going to play the first part of the question. So here we go.
Questions about the timing of the CDC's announcement yesterday. So did somebody at the Biden administration or in the Biden administration update this guidance for political reasons?
No.
So you heard the no right off the get. Did he do this for political reasons? No. Here we go.
So what was the medical or scientific reason? What was the big breakthrough to do this yesterday?
Yeah, now this part is political doublespeak, but what comes next is stunning. Here
Well,
we
I
go.
know that Dr. Walensky did an extensive number of interviews yesterday to answer exactly that question. But as we've talked in here quite a bit about, the CDC, not just Dr. Walensky, but her entire team of health and medical experts are constantly reviewing the data to ensure that they can provide accurate and up-to-date guidance to the American people. So based on three factors, as she talked about yesterday, vaccines work in the real world. We've seen a lot of studies done on that, including internally in the federal government. Vaccines stand up to the variants, which at various times has been a concern about the need to continue to mask even after you're vaccinated. And vaccinated people are less likely to transmit the virus. That's how they came to the decision. And that's what she conveyed yesterday when she announced the decision.
Okay, let's hold on for right there, but you heard Fauci saying, well, we don't know how this is going to do with the variants. It looks like the variants are resistant to that. Paskey is saying, oh, well, we're reviewing that, and it's killing everything. At 34% fully vaccinated America, we're getting to herd immunity, it seems like, because we're dropping all these rules and regulations if you've been vaccinated. I guess you cannot have immunity to any sort of a virus if you've already had it. Which, if you take let's just give for stipulation or stipulate, the 34% are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and they're part of the herd immunity, and even part of the 50%. So let's even give it to 50%. We got to get to 70 to 90% for herd immunity to work, and this thing is dying all over the place. There must be a substantial amount of the population that has immunity to this. How? Because they've already had it. And probably a lot of and we know that this thing has been spreading for over a year and a half. A lot of the people who got the shot had immunities to it from getting the virus. Now, people are getting the coronavirus, as Bill Maher did yesterday, and people are dying of COVID-19 right now who've got the vaccination. Yet it's working like gangbusters are here. And if you get the vax, well, you might not need the mask, or we'll do this. They tried to dance around this. Here's the rest, and here's the lead with Peter Doocy and Jane Paskey at today's White House press conference. Here we go.
But just looking at the CDC's website on the way up here, only 45.6% of U.S. adults have been fully vaccinated as of yesterday. Only 58.9% of the adult population has at least one dose. So what happened to President Biden saying in March that he thought lifting mask mandates before every adult American goes and gets a shot is Neanderthal thinking?
Well, first, let me say that the president, our North Star, has been listening to the guidance of our health and medical experts and teams, and that's exactly what we're doing in this case. And just to reiterate, the CDC, the doctors and medical experts there, were the ones who determined what this guidance would be based on their own data and what the timeline would be. That was not a decision made by the White House. It was the White House was informed of that decision, just to give people assurance of that.
So, as Biden said, well, all y'all that ain't wearing these masks, or we can't get herd immunity by getting the coronavirus, and as threatened, there are a bunch of Neanderthals using Neanderthal thinking, as in a bunch of hillbilly white boys who are going to kill us all. Whether with coronavirus or they're going to get their guns and go out there and shoot us, is the subtext of that. Well, they're not saying that directly. That's what he's meaning. He wants you to fear a face like this. a unsubstantiated fear, but that's how they control you, like doing all this other, and they're pushing the buttons. And if we're going, look at, our no star from Jane Paskey, and we go by the CDC guidelines, BS. You know that it's basically, and we're probably at the point where this virus has run its course. Yeah, it may mutate and come into there, but as Dr. Kelly Victory says, of every other virus, once it mutates, it becomes weaker and this and that. That's how they work. So there is, in most likelihood, no big threat for coronavirus for any reason. Whether you've been vaccinated or not, or you wear a mask or not, da-da-da-da-da. Now again, if you want to wear a mask, go right ahead. Have at it. Knock yourself out. I choose not to wear one. I'm not going to live my life in fear, afraid of a little virus around the corner or anything else, because it's stupid. But if you want to do that, go for it. Now, this is a real governor. Before we get to Newsom and the mask, Ron DeSantis was aware of this situation. And as all over, even the local jurisdictions where Florida were trying to put people in jail for not mandating masks. Here's a little bit of the story here on Fox 11. Here we go.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, Laura?
No, I can't even believe this is the United States of America when I'm hearing this. What happened?
So 2 months after gyms reopened in South Florida, Broward County came down with a mandate saying that facial coverings had to be worn during strenuous exercise.
Broward County, by the way, is one of the libtard areas of Florida.
We filed a lawsuit against Broward County for this. 24 hours after the lawsuit was filed, we were arrested. We were arrested 3 times in total. They seized our business. They offered us 10 days in jail. We declined that, and now I'm looking at 6 months in prison. They also arrested Jillian here as well.
Okay. Broward County, as I said, that's one of the most, that is a libtard area. That, remember the hanging chads and Gore versus Bush and all that? That was Broward County. Bunch of rich liberal ding-dongs proliferate the area in that particular state. But as we look at it, and Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, got a hold of it, he said, this is what we're going to do. Here we go.
Ordered against last summer, many, many months ago. And so I was actually just recently briefed on this case, and we looked at it. And so I'm glad you have Mike and Jillian on. And I'm also glad to be on to be able to say that effective tomorrow morning, I'm going to sign a reprieve under my constitutional authority. So that'll delay the case for 60 days against both of them. And then when our clemency board meets in the coming weeks, we'll issue pardons not only for Mike and Jillian, but for any Floridian that may have outstanding infractions for things like masks and social distancing.
Now there is a governor.
It'll be okay.
Not only once he heard of this, okay, local officials, you want to go into mask mandate? No, we're going to have a mask mandate. Oh, you're going to kill us all if you don't wear a mask. And everybody gets up there, or not everybody, but you get the woke crowd. Oh, yeah, we're all going to die if we don't do this, and yada, yada, yada. Ron DeSantis said, okay, I'm just going to pardon everybody who you're going to try to convict or do that, or harass over a stupid mask mandate. Now that's a real governor. The kind we need in California. And this is why we must recall Gavin Newsom. Because not only of that, I mean, maybe on June 15th we'll do the unleash. Maybe if you're really good and you got the vaccine and you don't give us any trouble, you conform, we might let you out of the house. And if you're really good, we might let you take the mask off for 10 minutes. This is what we're in for. Gulag Gavin introduced his budget today. Guess what is one of the prime areas he's going to spend your tax dollars on that should be rebated to you? We should be getting about a $50 billion tax refund in California this year. He is going to take that money, as KCRA number 3 reports, the NBC affiliate in the Bay Area, not part of the vast right-wing conspiracy, I don't think, writes on, flip up number 4, please. Newsom also announced on Friday the state will use $300 million surplus to forgive traffic fines for low-income residents, with details to be worked out by lawmakers in the state's Judicial Council. The state will pay off fines going back before the pandemic, though he said the program was intended to help those who suffered economically during the related economic shutdown. It will cover fines only through this June 30th. Notice he doesn't say I'm pardoning anyone who is being harassed over the stupid mask mandate or any other regulations, or all the goon squads I sent out there to harass these businesses to do that, as his colleague across in the East Coast, Ron DeSantis, said, this is stupid. We're not going to harass the people. If the libtards in Broward County, Florida, want to harass gym owners for not being mask Nazis, I will just pardon not only them, but everybody else that you're out there trying to harass. So there. Flip up number 4, please, because you ain't going to believe this one. Newsom said he wants to spend $11 billion to build what his office terms a modernized transportation system for the next century. That not only includes repairing decayed roads and bridges, ha ha ha, they might patch one pothole, then they can say, yeah, we repaired a decaying roads and bridges. Well, 2, because it's plural. So they repaired 2 potholes, then they can claim, yes, we didn't lie, we did repair decaying roads and bridges, because we see these 2 potholes we filled in, that's it. But more spending for the state's troubled bullet train, other public transportation, the state's ocean ports projects around the summer of the 2028 Olympics. So you know where the money's coming from to build the bullet train? Go look in the mirror. Because it's you. After we squandered $10 billion on it and not build any feet of tracks on it, it's gone nowhere in 10 years. It's not even a bullet train, according to Quentin Kopp, the former senator and head of the Bullet Train Commission, said, I am for a bullet train, but this is not one, and this is stupid. Yet, instead of refunding the overtaxation of Californians while your kids sit at home on Zoom, he's going to crank up the bullet trains and the metro links and everything else while your roads go to pot. You will have no other choice. Gas will be $10 a gallon. Even if you could afford a car, you couldn't afford to put gas to burn it up inside anyway, like the ding-dong in Florida did. I guess that's their way of curing the stupid people who put gas inside a enclosed vehicle. Will just make it so expensive that they can't do it. If you think I'm whistling Dixie when I'm talking about, their plan for you is to live in a 100-foot high-rise in your 200-foot cubicle, and you either get to walk, bicycle, or possibly take a bullet train somewhere, and that's what you get to do. You ain't going to the beach. You ain't going to the mountains. You ain't going to Disneyland. What do you think all this reimagining is? And most of you are taking it. At least Trader Joe's is dropping the mask thing. Walmart is. They should drop it. They should say vaccinated, no vaccinations, no nothing. We're done with this crap. If we don't, and again, if we don't recall and get rid of Gavin Newsom, we are going to deserve what we get. Because this guy is totally incapable of doing it. And I explained that. Go back. If you want to see what's playing, the reason we got a budget surplus is capital gains taxes mostly. Go back to 99, 2007. Man, they were saying, in the Scoundrels of Sacramento were saying, we're in the money. It's 99, you got SB 400, the golden parachute that was the public employee pensions. It's now got a $2 trillion debt that they ain't paying off. Oh, well, this is just going to go on forever. Well, the next year, the dot-com boom hit, and we were in deep doo-doo. Same thing with Bush. 2000 with the housing bubble, and we're just gonna fund all this. 2007, everything was rocking and rolling. California, again, capital gains people were selling houses. Man, we're rolling in all sorts of money. 2008, it is crisis. That's what tax the rich. That's what a progressive, as they call it, tax system does. It is the worst system. You get big revenue spikes and you get big drops of when the thing crashes, as those two latest examples are. So when the real estate bubble bursts and the stock market goes to hell, with all this inflation, if the Chinese are successful in pulling the United States as the world's reserve currency, you ain't seen nothing yet. 99, or let's say 2000 and 2008 are going to look like a cakewalk. We're not preparing for any of this. We're just letting it ride. And we're going to do so at our own peril. Because we wake up each and every day and it just seems to get worse. I'll play this short clip from Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's talking about the Republicans and they finally got rid of Liz Cheney out of leadership. But don't necessarily look to the Republican Party to be your savior. Here we go.
For y'all. Okay, and then
this one's the perfect gift for
there's nice. The ad pops
the friend who's been getting a little too comfortable during quarantine. Maybe you're...
Is it going? Okay. Here we got the skip ad. There we go.
Other bills, like allowing felons to vote from prison. Do you think that's a good idea? Murder people and then you get to vote? I don't think so. Cori Bush likes that one, by the way. That was her bill. So here's what we did. So I started calling for these recorded votes, and Democrats were, really upset because it was messing up the schedule and was taking a lot of time, and everybody had to stop what they're doing. They had to stop their lunches and stop their fundraising calls and get up from their nap and all kinds of things and come down and vote. Well, It wasn't just the Democrats that were upset with me, it was the Republicans also.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene made the Republicans actually do their job in Congress, and they were pissed. As I said, the establishment controls both sides. They don't care who it is. They don't care if it's Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, Liz Cheney, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden, or whoever. They don't care what party they are, as long as they're doing their bidding, and we can do a cakewalk and screw over the people, we're for it. So don't necessarily, just because it says Republican or Democrat doesn't mean they're good or bad on that. It's the people who are in there. And we need more people like Marjorie Taylor Greene all through, and Ron DeSantis. Melissa Melendez out here.
30 seconds.
And a lot to turn this thing around. Because that's what, the problem, the swamp is infested deep. And we got to clean it out, drain the swamp, as Trump said. That's not over. That needs to be emphasized more than anyway, and drain the swamp in California.
10 seconds, here we go.
Recall.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Mighty Red 1490 AM, broadcasting all over the Inland Empire. The aforementioned AM band, joining our vast video audience on IE Newswire on Facebook, Twitch, and Jesse waits for me to say this every day, YouTube. As we go on of that, we covered a lot of stuff. The mask mandates are seeming to drop. Trader Joe's, Walmart starting to drop them at their stores. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, pardoned anyone who the Gestapos have went after on for this coronavirus violations. Oh, you didn't wear your mask in a deal. A couple at a gym, they're trying to arrest them, put them in jail for 6 months for not mandating people wear their mask. Ron DeSantis said this is stupid. I'm pardoning them and anybody else on that. So you stupid, idiotic local regulators like in Libtard Broward County in Florida, knock yourselves out. I will just pardon them, and you're just wasting your constituents' money doing it. We should be doing that here, recalling Gulag at Gavin, because the flush tax money that's coming in from the capital gains of stocks sold and real estate going through the roof, which is a crisis they caused, but of that, he's going to spend on health care for illegals. On the bullet train, he did pledge to at least patch 2 potholes in a bridge and a road so he can fulfill the promise that we are investing, and we are fixing your roads, which even as the union said, where the jobs we were promised when we supported your tax increase, and Newsom gave them the middle finger, as he did all of us tax-paying citizens. It's more imperative now than ever that we recall Newsom. Just because he's handing out a gumdrop, or if you're really good at candy bar, that is no reason, that is the worst reason to not seal the deal. And the seal of the deal is recalling Gulag Gavin Newsom in 2021 because he is going to break us all. Once you've blown that money and not returned it rightfully to the overtaxed citizens of California, and even under the gutted GAN spending caps are getting around it, and that's why the only reason you're getting the $600 check or whatever is because they're going over the GAN gutted spending caps and they're twisting the law around to say that, well, this constitutes a tax refund to the people of that, and that's how they're trying to convolute around this. So they're gonna take $1 from you and give you a penny back. Because you ain't getting no new roads. You're not gonna get more affordable housing in that. The new homeless industrial complex is going to make sure we're going to build $700,000 200-foot cubicles for the homeless, and we're going to spend $70,000 on it, and we're going to pocket the other $630,000 in our pockets and the politicians' pockets. That's how this stuff works. While the homeless problem gets worse, the crisis it turns your communities into an absolute war zone trying to battle these people when you have no plan to fix them. And even if they don't want to be fixed, that's their right, but you're not encroaching on other people's right. You want to talk about a health crisis? Having people crap and piss in the streets, throwing their drug needles in everywhere, trash and everything else, is a severe health crisis. That alone should be the reason why you're getting them off the streets. However we got to do it. Not emptying the jails, letting out cop killers to go do the crime again, commit other crimes. 76,000 you're proposing to empty the jails. Of the 97 that are left when we had 160,000 hardened criminals in there just a few short years ago. But this is another one. This just came popping back up. And you've all heard the argument. Oh, the plastic bags. They're going to kill the whales. They're going to hurt the environment. Oh, it's in the schools. Oh, they're teaching recycling. BS. And remember who said that. Said that consistently. Go even look at the Moreno Valley City Council meetings when it came up. Recycling or trash goes in the trash can. Plastic bags are made to get the groceries from the grocery store inside your car, inside your house. Paper bag, I don't care. Paper bags, plastic bags, whatever. Just give me a bag. I don't care. It means they all work. One's not better than the other. In fact, in most times, and I said this, Royism 101, no matter how well-intentioned, 98.7% of all government programs wind up in graft, corruption, and or stupidity. This is on Pocket Worthy. Stories to fuel your mind. Number 4, please. Reusable plastic shopping bags are actually making the problem worse, not better. UK supermarkets are handing out more plastic now, not less. Over the past few years, reusable plastic shopping bags began showing up in grocery stores in many parts of the world. They're sturdier than the flimsy plastic bags that have become the symbol of global movement against disposable plastics, and so can be used many times, lending to their marketing as the ethical choice of environmentally conscious shopper. Oh, isn't it great that we have these reusable plastic bags and the sea lion isn't going to die? But of course, these thicker bags require more plastic to make. That means it could only improve the overall situation if they let the stores handing out overall less plastic by volume than they would without them, by, say, replacing thousands of single-use plastic bags a shopper might otherwise use over the years. Because no matter the style of plastic bag, it will still contribute to the global problem of forever trash entering the environment and the greenhouse gases associated with manufacturing the bag from fossil fuels in the first place. What is Royism 101? Static analysis will kill you 98.7% of the time. And that's probably a low number. Yeah, you're just looking at the plastic bag, or what you're hearing in that. You're not looking at the total situation. Flip up number 4, please. It seems like they have a 2019 report from Environmental Investigation Agency and Greenpeace looking at grocery stores in the UK suggests that plastic bags for life utterly failed to do the one thing they ostensibly meant to do. As of this writing, in 2019, the top 10 UK grocery stores reported selling 1.5 billion of these bags, which represents approximately 54 bags of life per household in the UK. And it goes on and on. What does it basically say? It was an utter failure. They lied to you. The Greenpeacers, the politicians, the environmentalists, the eco-freaks, the idiots, the stupids, and the ones that say, oh, isn't it great they're teaching our kids this in school? Yeah, as I said, isn't it great that they're teaching them to be stupid little lemmings that are going to wind up killing themselves or living a less productive, less happy life because of stupid, idiotic policies like this? It's about time we declared a moratorium on stupidity. As we ran last night at the schools of the XXX rated material that are in your schools under the guise of equality and diversity. And oh, can't you just be nice? Well, yeah, I can be nice when nice is appropriate, but I don't tolerate stupid very well. And when you get to this, and when you're telling me to do something stupid, I am going to resist. Whether it's, oh, we're going to ban the plastic bags. You know, first it was the paper bags were going to kill us. These plastic ones were. Now the plastic bags are going to kill you. Now this, that, and the other, and bad. It goes on and on and on. You could see this coming. There was nothing wrong with the plastic paper bags. There was nothing wrong with the plastic bags, or nothing of any of this stuff of sorts going on. Yet, we look at this, and after we go through this whole rigmarole, and we go through the whole thing, and we can circle back, and they said, according to Greenpeace, not Hillbilly Roy, it was an utter failure. We screwed up, but will you hear them admit that? Well, no, maybe you shouldn't listen to us for this because we are preaching stupid when we're hugging a tree, when we are, when you were out there stopping the lumber people, lumberjacks, I should say, from sawing down the trees to build you affordable housing. And on and on and on it goes. Yet, the stuff keeps happening each and every day. We keep getting more stupid. We keep getting more idiotic stuff. When you say this, you get the argument, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's that Neanderthal thinking. Oh, Neanderthal thinking is using the paper bags. Oh, we got to have this new plastics. Oh, well, the plastic stuff is bad. We didn't realize that. Oh, now we find out that was actually more environmentally damaging than the paper bags and that. But we can't admit that we screwed up. Yet, we keep, it absolutely twists my head each day when we look out there and you see the stupidity that's coming back in California. But we look each day and it just gets totally more stupid. It's okay, message him on the thing there on there, see if you can find him there. No, just message him. Say, see the message thing? We're trying to hook up with Chuck Becker on that for the Parasauda Speedway segment. But no, it's just absolutely dumbfounding of what goes on here. And we totally lose our minds on this stuff. Here, try this. I think you got him on this one. See if you can hit him on that. But it seems like the more I think Jesse found it. No, the more we do that stuff, the worse we get. I think we finally figured out how to hook this up. We'll be talking about Parasauda Speedway. And, yeah, I think we finally made contact with him. We're talking about some fun stuff with that. Parasauda Speedway's coming up this night. That was the stock car show coming up, IMCA Modifieds, the street stocks, the factory stocks, and the super stocks on there. And one of the not only longtime competitors of Parasauda Speedway, but from a very, very, very famous and rich racing family that has roots deep in Southern California. His grandfather, dad, uncles, cousins, everything else have raced there, but you'll be able to see the Chuck Becker III will be racing in the IMCA Modifieds out there, and I thought he was going to win it last week from the back, but then he got into a little bit of trouble. Chuck Becker, welcome to IE Newswire with Roy.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
One thing, and I think, well, you got your chance. I think you might want to wish somebody a happy birthday today.
Yeah, my mother. My mother turns 39 with experience today.
I thought you were going to drop the dime on her and get yourself into real trouble on that.
I just told her she was really old, like older than dirt, just a little bit ago. We were having dinner.
Oh, that, yeah, happy birthday, Rose, and many, many more on that. No, it was great to see. And I think one of the biggest crowds I've seen out there, especially for the stock car guys out there in many, many years out of Paris Auto Speedway, after you guys had been off for a year, what was it like to just get back to racing after being on the sidelines for over a year?
Oh, I had a great time there. And it was pretty funny because the only mark that I got on my car, which was really kind of weird for that night because everybody seemed to be crashing, the only mark that I got on my car was after I went by my Uncle Rick, and I love actually racing with my Uncle Rick, is he gave me a shot in the back bumper, which, I really enjoyed too. So it was a good time. And I thought I had a chance to win that race too, and I took my shot, and it messed me up and cost me a few positions. But you know what? You got to try.
That's it. Hey, that's what you're there for. And we're going to play some video of the aforementioned race last week at Paris Auto Speedway, or not last week, 3 weeks ago, the first race back of that. And there's Chuck, as you can see right there, going through the at the aforementioned race. And yeah, I saw that little maneuver by Uncle Rick on the back straightaway, giving you the chrome horn. And not that Rick's ever done that before.
You know what was funny? What was funny is I passed him once, and then he put a slide job on me, and when he did it, I seen it coming, and I turned and I drove back by him on the inside coming off the same corner, and I got to wave to him when I had him cleared, and that was right before he gave me the bumper. It was kind of fun. It was a lot of fun to race with Rick.
Yes, it is, and it is, and I mean, when you're out on the track, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, when the green flag falls, there's no family ties in that. I mean, you'll race anybody, just whether it's your son, brother, guy you don't even know. You're out there to win it.
I hate to lose to anybody in particular, but I really hate getting beat by my relatives. But with that being said, Rick Becker is arguably one of the state's best race car drivers that this state has ever seen, period, and I'll argue that with anybody. He and my dad together, both of them. And when he's racing, I know that he's going to race me hard, but I also know what he's going to do because I've studied him my entire life.
Yes, you had two very good mentors in there, and your dad and Uncle Rick, and your Uncle Randy, too, of that, aforementioned of that. But yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you either. I mean, Rick's done it all in all sorts of different cars, surfaces, just about everything over about 40 years plus of he's been out racing at the speedways, not only over California, but across the whole United States. And I will say this, yeah, in California, there's probably not a more diverse short track driver that's done and won in everything in practically any kind of car than Rick Becker.
You're absolutely correct, and he and my dad absolutely have gone all over both dirt and asphalt, raced the same cars, different cars, and all kinds of different cars over their careers, and won in just about all of them. And it's really impressive to watch. And it's even more impressive or more fun for me because I'm related to him. So, and it was funny because he called me the next day, and Rick, my family all calls me JB, and the first thing he said is, "JB, last night, what the hell were you thinking?"
See, even after all these years, you're still going to get that talk.
That's why I can't stand to lose to any of them.
You don't want to hear that phone call coming the next day because I've said that many times. It doesn't matter what you did. Even if you won, next day you're going to hear everything you did wrong.
Well, you know what was really cool about it is the first person that I saw after the race, because he was parked right next to me, was Rick. And I got the biggest hug I've had from him in a long time because we had a lot of fun racing together.
That was, and it was very competitive. And I mean, and I said we had a bet up there in the on top of the concession stand in the pits of how many how much aluminum was going to be shredded that night. And only because, I mean, you guys are running for $1,500 to win, and you guys haven't run for that kind of money, at least down here, in a long time. And I mean, 24, 25 cars showed up, and it was very competitive racing, and one of the best shows they probably put on in a long time out there at Paris a couple of weeks ago.
It was, but there was also a lot of guys that were really rusty. You had a lot of an influx of some new guys. So there was kind of a diverse group, and you got to expect that the first couple nights, and hopefully it cleans itself up and we kind of sort it out a little bit. But I was very fortunate. I missed a lot of the stuff. I seen it happening, and I was able to get out of the way. Most of the guys can't say that.
There you go. We got about a minute and a half left. I got your new car up there as you posted there on that. Give your sponsors and everything, and everybody's helping you out a plug here.
I am so lucky because just coming on for starting now is Bergeson's Heating and Electric, and along with Toyota of Redlands, and they're just coming on, and man, is it helping. So a big shout out to them, and I'm really, really fortunate with the people that have always been with me. I've got Carpet Station, Huss Trucking, which is also a racing family, PRU 2.0, which is more racing. A First Impression, he's in Vegas, and he does most of my wraps and stuff like that, but that's Justin Miller, and you can find him racing every now and then. Matter of fact, he drove my car a couple of years back one night because he just wanted to race. But just the fact that these guys put their time, effort into helping racers, we try to put it back out there so the people that go to racing, when they need something done, they go and they spend their money with these people. And it works in a really, really fantastic way. But Bergeson and the Toyota of Redlands, I couldn't be happier about them coming on.
Yeah, time flies. This hour goes fast. We're almost out of time. Thanks a lot for being on. Good luck out there. Maybe we'll see you out there tomorrow night, you and all the competitors out there. And maybe you can return the favor to Uncle Rick tomorrow night. Thanks for being on, Chuck.
Hey, thanks for having me anytime, and I hope to see everybody there.
You got it. Chuck Becker III from the famous Becker Racing family in Southern California will be out at Paris Auto Speedway tomorrow night with the IMCA Modifieds along with the Super Stocks, Street Stocks, and Factory Stocks. They're on the Ramona Expressway about 2 miles east of the 215 freeway. Saturday night racing starts at 7 o'clock. You won't be disappointed. They'll all be out there. It was a good show a couple weeks ago. I think it'll even be a better one this week now that everybody's knocked the rust off. After being grounded for more than a year and a half, it should be fun. If you don't go to Paris Auto Speedway, do something fun this weekend. Dump the masks. Trader Joe's, Walmart, everybody is. Get ready to recall Gavin Newsom, turn California and then the world around on that. So have a great weekend. Have some fun, but be back here Monday starting at 5 on IE Newswire. Until then.